It's the big WWE Summer at the Scotia Arena and will air live on the WWE on pay-per-view. Slam card features and 6 champions. But before the party starts, break down each match, give my predictions, discuss for the future. The Cruiserweights kick off SummerSlam as Oney Larkin goes one-on-one with Drew Gulak. And for this one, I'll simply say we'll get a nice 7-minute back and forth between the two Cruiserweights, but Gulak will retain the championship. Now as we move on to the main show, we have to open it with something hot, some fire, something that'll set the tone for the night. And you have 2 matches that'll give you that in the beginning. You can either go with Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon or AJ Styles versus Ricochet. And since we're in Canada, why not we open the show with Canada's own Kevin Owens. After weeks of the shenanigans with Shane McMahon hogging up all the on-screen time, why not let them start off the show? Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon should have a good 10-15 minute opener to get the crowd ready for a good night. This match will probably go all over the arena, but I don't really have much to say about this match. My prediction, KO wins. Bye-bye Shane McMahon, and the fans are happy. They don't have to see Shane shuffling all around the ring, taking up all the camera time. But then, when this is all said and done, I can see Kevin Owens going back to his heelish ways. You can't trust Kevin Owens. Just remember from past events, he turns on everybody. He's gonna go bad again. Trust me. Remember he was friends with Jericho? And they were the goat and the donkey? And then look what happened. He turned on Jericho at the Festival of Friendship. Then he was good friends with Kofi Kingston and the New Day. And then what happened after 2 weeks? He went sour on him. So just remember that. You can't trust Kevin Owens. Up next could be the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Bayley and Ember Moon. And this match is probably going to be the best women's match of the night. Ember Moon and Bayley are both evenly matched, and it could go either way. I like that this isn't a cliche face versus heel match. It's just 2 women that deserve to be on top, just proving themselves. Now my prediction is Ember Moon winning, but in reality I see Bayley winning, and then after that maybe Sasha returning as a heel to attack Bayley. And then even if Ember Moon wins, Shayna Baszler could show up on SmackDown the next week and be the next challenger for the Women's Championship. Honestly, there's so much that could be done with the SmackDown's Women's Championship. You can have either woman win and keep this feud going, eventually turning Bayley heel, hopefully. You can have Sasha return to challenge either woman, and you can have Shayna Baszler debut and challenge either woman. The SmackDown Women's Championship, I think, has more possibilities than the Raw. You can even have the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, go after the Women's Championship on SmackDown. Asuka could reignite her feud with Ember Moon from NXT. Kairi Sane could go after Ember Moon or Bayley. Bayley and Asuka could go back and forth again. There's so many things you could do with the SmackDown Women's Championship. At first, I wasn't really feeling this match, I didn't really think this match was necessary, being that Charlotte has pretty much done everything. But putting aside the fact that it felt a little rushed, I'm fine with this match because it's a perfect match for SummerSlam. This is a perfect match for Charlotte Flair, since Charlotte has proven pretty much she's the best women's wrestler in the modern era. this is probably the only thing she has left to prove to be the legend. After watching that hype package on SmackDown, highlighting Trish's years of dominance in the women's division, I realized if Trish in her prime took on Charlotte Flair, I would pay to see that match. And it would be a masterpiece of a women's match in the modern era. Don't get me wrong, Trish still looks like she can go. There's no doubt about that. I've seen pictures. She looks like she's been training. But I feel like this is going to be a one-sided match, and Charlotte's going to get the win. Next up, AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. And anytime either one of these guys step foot in the ring, it's just instant classic. Ricochet's athleticism, along with AJ's athleticism and experience, this match is going to be 5 stars pretty much. I want to see a back and forth match between the two, but ultimately I want to see AJ Styles win, because with this new attitude between AJ and the OC, he's got to win with some dirty heel tricks, heel tactics. There's no way he should win clean. I mean, AJ Styles has to win dirty, but he has to win just to push the character along, you know? But AJ Styles wins with some help from the OC, and you just keep on chasing the US title, Ricochet. You'll get it. Bray Wyatt as the Fiend versus Finn Balor. This is low-key a rematch between the two. Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend, has been targeting Finn Balor as well as legends ever since his re-debut. Now, I obviously think that Bray is going to win this in dominating fashion, but I also have a theory on the Fiend. Now, what if the Fiend is able to bring out people's weaknesses psychologically, you know? I mean, like, when he says, "let me in," don't you get like a hypnotizing vibe from him? It's almost like he's hypnotizing you when he says it. Maybe plainclothes Bray is the hook. When he says, "let me in," that hooks you in. And then the Fiend takes your mind, takes your soul, your psyche. I don't know, it's just a weird little theory I have on the gimmick. I think we're going to see both sides of the Bray Wyatt gimmick on Sunday. We'll probably see the Firefly Funhouse teasing the Fiend's arrival before we see the match, and then we'll end up seeing the Fiend when it's time for him to come out. Hopefully we don't see the Demon Finn, so we can keep the value of the Demon when he does arrive. But aside from the excitement of the match, I'm excited to see Bray Wyatt's official new entrance, because I heard from other wrestling news channels that a popular band is recording a wrestling theme song. So hopefully it's for Bray, and if it isn't, whatever. But Bray wins. Yowie wowie. Dolph Ziggler has been worked for way too long. Is here to back it. Goldberg in reality is after that Saudi Arabia, and I think he'll be spearing him. So spear 1, 2 wins. There will be a certain in the area. That being said, Matt Riddle accompanied Dolph Ziggler. The Miz and Shawn Michaels accompanied Goldberg. And Riddle did the match. Goldberg versus Matt Riddle. I don't know, I could be reaching, but good way to get Riddle on the. Next, we're going to get some Raw Women's Championship action. And it's a submission match between Becky Lynch and Natalya. Now, I'm not too excited about this match. I think instead of having a submission match, Becky Lynch should have tried to get the sharpshooter banned, because throughout her matches, Natty goes for the sharpshooter way too much. And if the sharpshooter were banned, and I think if we had a match where the sharpshooter were banned, it could create more story, build more story, and create more tension, because Natty could tease going for the sharpshooter only to realize that she can't use the sharpshooter, which would force her to have to use something else. They're going to have a good match regardless, but I still think the stipulation should have been a banning of the sharpshooter. But hopefully they have a clean match. Although I did hear some wrestling news channels say that they're going to incorporate a screw job angle, which they better not. Let's just have a clean women's championship match, and my prediction, Becky goes over. Another match that has a lot of legs moving forward is Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Both guys have crossed paths in the past, but it didn't go too well for one of them. With Randy Orton moving on to become a multiple-time world champion, and Kofi seeing a lot of championships in his career, but never reaching the top of the mountain as much as Orton did, until WrestleMania 35, where he won the WWE Championship. His first WWE Championship after an 11-year-long career. We got to see some video packages showcasing both guys' careers. Orton's video package showed why he is known as the Viper and why he's been on top for so many years. On the flip side, Kofi's video package was more inspiring and showed how he continues to inspire his people of his country, as well as continuing to be the fighting champion that he promised to be since winning the championship. Both of their highlight packages showed both men's paths crossing and how the tension between the two during that situation is affecting the present. But in the end, I think Kofi's going to retain, and like I said, this feud could go on all the way till about Survivor Series. But there are so many possibilities that could go on between these two. And lastly, the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Now, along with the Raw Women's Championship match, I'm not excited about this match because Seth Rollins has been getting his life handed to him, and he has proven Paul Heyman's point of having more balls than brains. I mean, this man came out limping with a chair as his crutch, and then got beat with the same chair he used as a crutch. He's already not going in 100%, so how's he gonna beat the Beast? After Brock has his way with Seth and retains the Universal Championship, I'm gonna need for Seth to take a break, redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. But for the time being, let someone else go after the Universal title. Preferably Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley or Braun Strowman. But let somebody else beat the Beast.